Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and today we are talking about some anticipated upcoming book releases. I've never done a video like this before, but there are some good books coming up and I want to talk about them with someone, and why not talk about it with you? So I have a list here on my laptop of some books that are coming out in the next few months. I've got some in July, well, one in July, and it actually is coming out today on the day that I'm filming this. A few in August, a couple in September, and a couple in November. So let's just start with the one in July. It comes out July 11th, which is today when I'm filming this. And this is Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. I have loved the other Catherine Center I've read, The Bodyguard, which is a really fun romance. And now she has come out with Hello Stranger, another romance. And this one, I think a woman gets in a car accident and wakes up with face blindness, and so she isn't able to recognize anybody's face. It like is jumbled, and she can't see who her, I think, significant other is. I don't know exactly how that works out, but sounds really fun, and I got it in my Book of the Month box most recently, so I hope to get to that one very soon. Okay, moving on to August. Most of these are coming out on August 1st. That's a big publishing day, I guess. The first is Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. I have been interested in reading Ann Patchett, and I have read one of her short story collections. I also have Commonwealth on my shelves, and this one just sounded really interesting. So let me read a synopsis for you. In the spring of 2020, Laura's 3 daughters return to the family's orchard in northern Michigan. While picking cherries, they beg their mother to tell them the story of Peter Duke, a famous actor with whom she shared both a stage and a romance years before at a theater company called Tom Lake. As Laura recalls the past, her daughters examine their own lives and relationship with their mother and are forced to reconsider the world and everything they thought they knew. I just think it sounds really good, a great relationship between daughters and mother, and hearing about an interesting past. So that comes out again August 1st. Another one on August 1st is The Honeymoon Crashers by Christina Lauren. This is coming out strictly on audio, and this is book 1.5 in the Unhoneymooners series by Christina Lauren. The Unhoneymooners I absolutely loved. In that first book, we have the Maid of Honor and the Best Man. They're the only 2 in this whole wedding that do not get food poisoning, so they end up taking the honeymoon of the bride and groom. And it's this forced proximity, enemies to lovers, really fun romance. And now this is called The Honeymoon Crashers. It's book 1.5, and looks like it's an audio original, the first by Christina Lauren. It's a full cast, and it just looks like the bride in the first book, Amy, is helping her sister, the Maid of Honor, Olive, have a perfect day. So, looks good. I love Christina Lauren. I will usually pick up most of what they write. The last one that comes out on August 1st is called Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. I have read a bunch of Elizabeth Acevedo's young adult fiction. Clap When You Land and The Poet X are the 2 I can think of off the top of my head. This is her first adult fiction. It says, Flor has a gift. She can predict to the day when someone will die. So when she decides she wants a living wake, a party to bring her family and community together to celebrate the long life she's led, her sisters are surprised. Has Flor foreseen her own death or someone else's? Does she have other motives? She refuses to tell her sisters. But Flor isn't the only person with secrets. And then it goes on to talk about her sisters and their secrets. So this sounds really fun. I kind of like stories where people can predict their end. I've been interested in The Measure, The Immortalists. Those are kind of ones where people predict the date of your death and what you do with that information. So this sounds really good. Interested to see what Elizabeth Acevedo does in adult fiction. Okay, next on August 8th is Dark Corners by Megan Golden. And you know, since I've made this list, I saw that Dark Corners was on Book of the Month's books for July. So maybe this came out early with them and it's being actually published on August 8th. But this is the second to The Night Swim by Megan Golden, which was a really fun mystery podcast book. I think I gave it 4 stars maybe, but I'm just interested to see what more Megan Golden can do with this main character who runs a podcast and also solves mysteries while she does that. I really love the podcast Serial, where they talk about mysteries in the past and, you know, hearing all of the evidence, and it's really thrilling in a way. So I think that Dark Corners could be another fun mystery thriller with a podcast element. Okay, now we're moving on to September. September 5th, I think my most anticipated book comes out. That is The River We Remember by William Kent Krueger. I love William Kent Krueger. I have read This Tender Land and Ordinary Grace by him. I haven't read any of his mystery series with Cork O'Connor, but I want to. I just think William Kent Krueger has a beautiful way of writing, and I love that he writes about Minnesota. He's from Minnesota, and it's great to hear about fun little Minnesota things in each of his books. He always brings something about Minnesota into them. And this, The River We Remember, is kind of a companion with Ordinary Grace and This Tender Land, written in the same kind of world of Minnesota. And in this one, he read the prologue to us at an author event at my local library, and the prologue is beautiful already, just like a 1-page prologue that he read to us. But it sounds like a body is found in the river of this small town, and we figure out what goes on with that body, if it was a murder, if it was something else. We follow along this small town figuring out what is going on, and it happens to be during like their town celebration or something crazy like that. But intriguing, and I just love William Kent Krueger's writing, so I will definitely pick it up. And the next one that comes out in September is on September 14th. This is The Phoenix Crown by Kate Quinn and Janie Chang. I hadn't heard of this, but when I was doing some research, I saw that Kate Quinn is writing with Janie Chang. I don't know anything about Janie Chang, but I love Kate Quinn. I love her historical fiction. And this one, The Phoenix Crown, looks like it takes place in Versailles in 1912. But also in San Francisco in 1906. It sounds like there is this really big ball being thrown at Versailles with hundreds of guests, but one of the guests is questing for justice from something that happened 6 years ago. So I'm intrigued. I love historical fiction. I really have enjoyed Kate Quinn's writing before, and so I'm looking forward to this one. Well, now look at this. Goodreads says expected publication February 13th, 2024. So I guess that's not coming out in August, or September, whenever I said it, but looking forward to it, even if it's in 2024. Okay, and the next 2 are in November. So on November 3rd, the 5th volume of Heartstopper comes out. This is a young adult graphic novel by Alice Oseman, and I love Heartstopper. I don't need to tell you about it. I'm sure you've heard about it. This is a young love story between Nick and Charlie, and it's beautiful, and I can't wait to finish off the series. And lastly, November 7th, Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood comes out. This is her foray into young adult romance, so I'm very intrigued to see that. Ali Hazelwood has written countless adult romance that I have read, and they get really steamy, so I'm interested to see how she kind of dials that back for young adult readers. I don't know much about Check and Mate. Let me see. Cute. Rival chess players are brought together in a match for the heart. That sounds fun. I love The Queen's Gambit. That was such a fun story about a woman playing chess, and so I think that this could be really fun. I like books that involve games, and it sounds like these rivals could come together and have love. Anyway, those are my books. Not many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 coming out. I'm sure there are plenty more books that are coming out. Let me know in the comments down below if you know of any books coming out in this second half of 2023 that I should keep my eye out for. Thank you so much for watching this video. like it on your way out. Consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more bookish and bullet journaling content from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!